As the Coastal Bend prepares for a level 1 water emergency, a business in Taft is making some adjustments to reduce water use, how they're planning on doing their part. Plus, efforts to potentially remove Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo are moving forward. We'll show you what comes next. And a little later, with severe weather continuing to impact the state, Governor Abbott is making a plan for Texas. What he's saying about being prepared in an emergency. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. I'm Michelle Hoffman. Brian Hoffman will be in later tonight, but we do have meteorologist Stephen Jones back with us today. I am so glad you are here because we definitely need it with all the weather.
Oh, absolutely. Good morning, Michelle, and good morning, Coastal Bend. We are starting to see that weather working back into the area. Plenty of storms rolled through the Coastal Bend this morning and still affecting southern portions of the Coastal Bend as of right now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect through 6:30 a.m. for Kennedy County. Not so much here in Corpus Christi. Most of that rain starting to push offshore, but we picked up a decent amount of that rain over the past 6 hours, I should say. In terms of those rainfall totals, picked up upwards of half an inch of rain closer to it over by the International Airport, at least, actually coming up now to 0.82 inches, and going to match that for areas over towards Alice. Falfurrias almost picking up an inch of rain yourselves, and off towards Ingleside over that half of an inch mark. So not too bad at all. Port Aransas almost coming in at 2 inches of rain. This is the trajectory we're going to continue with as we go through the next few days. Here's the live radar view over the past 3 hours. Those storms barreling through Corpus Christi and now offshore for us, but we do still have this severe thunderstorm warning like we talked about for Kennedy County. This is through 6:30 a.m. Could see some of those wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour, but luckily not seeing too much hail with the system as it's working through the area. Around Corpus Christi ourselves, just getting some of that light rain shower activity in the wake of the strong storms working through the area, and this should continue through about the next hour or two before we start to dry up through the rest of our Wednesday, and then going to be on the warm up with that sunshine coming back out into the 80s. But of course, let's get you ready for your Wednesday morning as you're getting ready to hit the roadways. So far, so good out there on the traffic flow map. If you're heading out to the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking at that good and green traffic flow for our Robstown and Calallen commuters, 37 and 44, both luckily also looking good this morning. But keep in mind, with those storms rolling through the area, still dealing with some of those wet roadways. For our major thoroughfares here in Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga all coming in the clear. Even Crosstown Expressway not looking too bad. So one quick detour inland. Good morning to neighbors in Beeville. So far, so good, but the same story. Just be cautious of some of those wet roadways out there. We'll take a closer look at our future tracker and the rest of our rain chances coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
And you know, the weather isn't only impacting the roadways, it's also impacting power. This morning, there are power outages across the Coastal Bend. So let's take a look at what's happening in your neighborhood. We'll, of course, start in Nueces County. It looks like 8,200 customers are reporting power outages, according to AEP Texas. 12 p.m. could be their estimated restoration time. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Aransas. 1,200 customers over there are reporting some power outages. 12 p.m. is also their estimated restoration time. And San Patricio County, 2,200 customers are reporting those power outages. Now, folks, make sure you check in on your friends, your family, your coworkers too, just in case that could be happening to them. So Freer ISD is back in session this morning. Schools were closed yesterday after the morning storm damaged one of the schools. Power was restored to the junior high campus around 8 last night. The Corpus Christi City Council will have another chance to vote on water restrictions in 2 weeks. Council is delaying action on the level 1 water emergency ordinance, and this comes after concerns from the Apartment Owners Association. The proposal classifies apartments as commercial water users and are asking to be considered as residential. The next vote is set for June 2nd. This morning, business owners are making adjustments due to that delayed vote. The owners of Soaps and Suds, Taft's only residential laundromat, are upgrading machines to help conserve water. Older machines use 75 gallons per load, and now they're using 11 per cycle. But there are still concerns over how Corpus Christi's plan for a level 1 water emergency could impact business.
There are several of our long-term customers that have come in. They're asking, how much more am I going to go up on the machines? Am I going to close?
Taft Mayor Alida Castillo says that she plans to meet with business owners to discuss how a level 1 water emergency will impact them. There are 2 more pretrial hearings for the removal of Mayor Paulette Guajardo. Those are solidified to take place next Wednesday and June 2nd. Petitioners want the impeachment on 4 counts of public mistrust. It relates to an altered FEMA document that led to $2 million of taxpayer money going to a hotel development. This was investigated by the FBI, the Texas Rangers, and CCPD. No charges.
There are different perspectives of this and different things that have already happened that have proven, but it is what it is.
In regards to that, no charges were filed, but the hearings could finalize elements of the actual trial and what witnesses and evidence will be used. City Charter says it only takes 5 people to kickstart this process. Well, folks, it is now 6:05 your Wednesday morning. Congress is looking at a new proposal when it comes to electric vehicles. What you need to know if you're planning on getting one because of the high gas prices. Welcome back, folks. These are pictures sent to our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group from Jonelle Nessie. They say they got around 3 inches of rain. As we mentioned earlier, those storms also caused damage to multiple buildings. Here we can see that there is a truck that was turned over. There was another picture where the roof was partially missing, and those winds must have been strong because, again, that 18-wheeler was flipped. And folks, don't forget to share your photos and videos with us. All you have to do is join our Weather Watchers Facebook group. You might just see your photo in one of our newscasts, and that's a crazy image to see there. Oh my goodness. It was pretty treacherous yesterday. Even when I was driving to work, I may have skid or slid a couple of times.
Some of that hydroplaning going on. Yeah, no, that can be very dangerous, of course, and winds getting upwards of 60 miles per hour. That's what prompts those severe thunderstorm warnings, and likely what they saw over there with that 18-wheeler getting flipped over, some very strong winds. We also saw some this morning, and going through the next few days, can't rule out all of that severe weather, but this should be about the limits of what we see. Some of those 60-mile-per-hour winds and some of the hail working through, but still can cause some damage. Here's that live view of the radar over the past 3 hours. You can see it barreled through Corpus Christi, and we're dealing with some more of those light showers right now, at least not getting quite as windy or as much lightning right now, but still dealing with some of it, especially for southern portions of the coastal bend. Down towards Kennedy County, we still have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect through about 6:30 a.m. That's because you are still seeing some of those wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour, but should start to come down also as we go through the next few hours. Corpus Christi locally just dealing with some of that light green rain shower activity on the radar right now, so want to take your time out there on the roadways as we're looking at a live view from that studio sky cam. Plenty of cloud cover right now and just a few raindrops here in downtown. 69 degrees, winds out of the northeast, 22 miles per hour, and picking up over 3/4 of an inch of rain over at the International Airport. Not too bad for our Wednesday morning. In terms of those temperatures, rounding out in the 60s and 70s, 67 degrees over there in George West, 69 here in town, 68 the temperature for Alice, with San Diego coming in at a warmer 74 degrees so far this morning, and all of us going to be on that warm up as we head through the rest of our Wednesday. After we see the sun come out, we'll be back on the warm up. 78 by 11 a.m. winds out of the southeast once again as we're heading into the afternoon for us, and then daytime highs likely rounding out in those mid to upper 80s for us. Here's how the future tracker is going right now. You can see it's a little bit behind on where the storm should be, but nonetheless continues that same trajectory with them working offshore over the next hour or so, and then we're into those partly cloudy skies as we head into the afternoon. Calling about 86 here in Corpus Christi, but those mid 80s pretty common across the entire coastal bend today. And going into tonight, models start to differ just a little bit. This model wants to bring in a few of those light showers and storms to Corpus Christi, whereas the other model brings in a pretty strong system similar to what we just saw work through the area and pretty similar to yesterday as well. But either way, as we go through the next few days, still holding on to those isolated scattered rain showers and storms through the weekend for us. So here's how the rain chances are playing out as we head into our Memorial Day weekend. Still holding on to a decent 30 to 40% chance of some of those showers and storms popping up and maybe throwing a wrench in some of your plans as we work into Memorial Day itself. That's where we start to see those rain chances dwindle off just a little bit, closer to that 10 to 20% mark, unlikely category for us. But either way, when all is said and done, as we're heading in towards Memorial Day, could pick up a decent about 2 inches of rain locally and even into the watershed, with with localized higher totals under some of the heaviest downpours out there. But either way, looking like a very good drink of rain here locally and into the watershed, which hopefully puts some more dents in the drought monitor and those lake levels numbers. You can see we're still holding on to that level 5 out of 5 drought into the heart of the watershed right now, closer to Tilden out there. But hopefully we see that color improve as we're heading probably not into this week's update, but next week's update for that drought monitor. On the 7-day forecast, here's how it's playing out. Pretty much want to have that umbrella handy as we're rolling through today, tomorrow, and through the rest of the weekend for us also. But by the time we're heading into next week, the rain starts to dry up. Still holding on to plenty of those mid to upper 80s for daytime highs, and overnight lows really settling out in those lower 70s.
Good to know, Stephen. Thank you so much. Extra gas costs may have you considering an EV purchase instead of a traditional gas guzzler. But as our Joe St. George explains, you should know that lawmakers in Congress are eyeing some new fees that could wipe out some big savings.
If you ever look under the hood of an electric vehicle, you'll often find that there's not much there, just another compartment to keep a bag. And if you look under the hood of America's electric vehicle policies, there's not much there either as of late. Limited tax incentives and even a new proposal for a national electric vehicle fee. Have you thought about trading in the sound of a gas pump for the sound of an EV charging port? With gas prices soaring this year, you might have at least had the thought. Searches for electric vehicles surged 25% last month, according to Cars.com, with the EV Savings Index estimating that EV drivers are saving around 14 cents a mile right now. That's over $1,300 a year in savings, but Congress may soon be cutting into that. In the latest bipartisan multi-year transportation bill in the U.S. House, lawmakers have proposed a new national fee on EVs and plug-in hybrids. The proposal right now calls for a $130 fee for EV vehicles and a $35 fee for plug-in hybrids. It currently has the support of both the leading Republican and leading Democrat on the House Transportation Committee.
We think the number's too high.
Ben Prochaska is with the Electrification Coalition, a group that lobbies for expanding the number of EVs in the U.S. He says EV drivers know they aren't paying gas taxes despite driving on the same roads as everyone else, so a discussion of a new fee is appropriate. But he believes the current proposal is way too penalizing. His group is advocating for something under $100 a year.
We're going to do everything possible to ensure that any fees assessed on an EV, whether at the state level or at the federal level, is about EVs paying their fair share and not more than their fair share.
Any new national fee would be in addition to state EV fees already in place. Around 40 states currently have enacted such laws, with Michigan EV drivers paying the most at over $260 a year. While the debate in Washington over this national fee is expected to heat up over the summer, it also marks a dramatic shift in American politics, from tax incentives to buying an electric vehicle during the Biden administration to repealing those incentives under President Trump, and now potentially a new fee. Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.
It is now 6:16 on your Wednesday morning, folks. A little later, it's a journey you wouldn't expect. From a refugee boat to a Navy uniform and now a rebuilt church in Rockport. The story of Father Tran in this week's Veterans in Focus. This morning, Governor Abbott is watching severe storms across the state. He's directing the Texas Division of Emergency Management to be prepared for this week's storms. In a statement, he says, in part, quote, "I urge all Texans to remain weather aware, heed the guidance of state and local officials, and create an emergency plan to keep themselves and their loved ones safe." Texans are encouraged to prepare for severe weather and wildfire impacts by making an emergency plan by having an emergency kit available. I don't really have one, and I know I should, but I do have like a bunch of items that I will grab in case of emergency if we need to evacuate.
Ooh,
like
absolutely.
cherished items, you know.
There you go, cherished items. I mean, things like canned goods, waters, a battery-powered flashlight, or maybe those hand crank ones, you know. There's some simple things that you can get in just being prepared. I mean, we've got hurricane season also right around the corner now, so always better to be prepared sooner rather than later, of course. And we've got some of that weather working through the area this morning. We've already picked up a decent amount of rain across the area locally, over an inch falling in Rockport, 2 inches on on the money coming down in Port Aransas as the big winner. Corpus Christi getting closer to that inch mark, and that's going to be the same for Alice, coming in at 82/100ths of an inch this morning with the rain coming through the area, but all of us picking up a good amount of that rainfall. Currently on the radar out there, working offshore for most of us, but still affecting some southern portions of the coastal bend, and light shower activity here into the Corpus Christi area. We still have one severe thunderstorm warning in effect, at least right now through 6:30 a.m., so about 8 more minutes for this one. Could see some of those wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour, which worked through the Corpus Christi area about a couple hours ago now. As we're looking at Corpus Christi now, just the light green shower activity working through, and might see some heavier downpours, just those yellows and oranges working through pretty briefly, but then we're going to dry up as we head through about 9 to 10 a.m., and then we're going to be back off to the races for us as we're heading through the rest of the afternoon. But we've got more rain chances on the way. We'll take a closer look at that future tracker coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
Stephen, thank you so much. It is now 6:23 on your Wednesday morning. From a refugee boat to a Navy uniform and now a rebuilt church in Rockport. We'll have a look at the journey you wouldn't expect.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm. Car wreck? Heil will help.
For one veteran in Rockport, rebuilding has become a way of life. As a child, Father Tran fled from Vietnam after the war, searching for freedom and a future. Now in Rockport, he's helping lead a church that rose again after Hurricane Harvey. Sunlight now pours through stained glass windows inside St. Peter's Church in Rockport, light that was missing for years.
St. Peter's Parish was struck by Hurricane Harvey.
After Hurricane Harvey destroyed the original building, this small Vietnamese Catholic community worshipped wherever it could, under tents, inside a warehouse, and even a former gym. But now, after almost a decade of rebuilding, they finally have a church to call home again, and inside these walls, faith is spoken in 2 languages. And their leader, Father Tung Tran, knows a thing or two about starting over again.
I lived in Vietnam until 1984, and then I left Vietnam on a little wooden boat.
Father Tran was just a child when his family sent him away from Vietnam after the war. He tells me he spent days at sea, packed onto a small boat with dozens of others. There was little food, hardly any water, and pirates waiting in the open ocean. The journey itself was treacherous.
Women were violated. We were robbed 7 times, and then 3 people on that boat never made it.
But he survived, and the child who once floated to America by sea would one day return to it, this time to serve.
I belong to the sea, and so I volunteered and to serve in the Navy. As a way to repay back.
As a U.S. Navy chaplain, Father Tran served military members all around the world. He counseled troops in crisis, prayed with service members far from home, and helped people through some of their darkest moments.
I took part in preventing a Marine who was suicidal.
Now his mission is here in Rockport, in a church rebuilt from disaster and a community holding tight to its roots. Father Tran says he hopes people remember no matter what they've lost, faith can help them start again.
Be strong, be courageous, be genuine, be true. We are made to be good, to do good.
And you know, Father Tran has served as the pastor of St. Peter since 2020 following his active duty as Navy chaplain. The new church is now located about a quarter mile down from FM 1781 in Rockport. And you can get more information on this story and check out my other stories highlighting veterans in our neighborhoods. All you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen and it will take you to our Veterans in Focus section. Well, folks, it is now 6:28 on your Wednesday morning, and a lot of you have been wondering, are you paying for water you don't use? After the break, we'll show you how your water bill is calculated. With severe weather continuing to impact the state, Governor Abbott is making a plan for Texas. What he's saying about being prepared in an emergency. Plus, we're answering your questions as the Coastal Bend continues to experience a water crisis. What you need to know when it comes to your water bill. And a little later, a sneak peek at an exclusive interview. What Veronica Montoya is saying after being cleared in a deadly shooting. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday and welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. I'm Michelle Hoffman. Brian Hoffman will be in later tonight, but meteorologist Stephen Jones is back with us this morning with a look at our forecast. And I know it's definitely keeping you busy, right?
Absolutely. Good morning, Michelle, and good morning, Coastal Bend. You know, we had those storms rolling through this morning. We've got more on the way. We could see another round as we go into tomorrow morning, but either way, as we go through today, tomorrow, and into the weekend, we are holding on to plenty of rain chances, so want to have the umbrella handy as we're heading into our Memorial Day weekend. Here's a live view from our studio Skycam for our Wednesday morning. We are waking up to 69 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Winds out of the northeast, 22 miles an hour, and hey, not too bad. Picked up 82 hundredths of an inch over at the International Airport. Plenty of cloud cover to go around this Wednesday morning out there, with a few drops on the Skycam showing up right now still here in Corpus Christi. Here's how it's looking on the live radar out there. The strongest activity has pushed offshore, with a little bit of it affecting still southern portions of the coastal bend. That severe thunderstorm warning has since expired, but moved to the south now, closer to Port Mansfield there. That's going to be through about 7 a.m. with winds still upwards of 60 miles per hour in southern Kennedy County. Still very gusty down there. Here closer to Corpus Christi, still dealing with just some of that light shower activity as of right now. Just the greens and yellows potentially pushing through on the radar. Maybe a quick shower passing through the area, but then we're going to dry up as we head through the rest of our Wednesday. And you can see behind Beeville into Alice there, not too bad as you work over closer to Highway 59 and Freer, where we're really starting to dry up so far on the radar. Temperature-wise, waking up to the 60s and 70s across the board, but after the sunshine comes back out, we're going to be on the warm-up into those 80s this afternoon for our daytime highs, about 85 here in Corpus Christi, with winds out of the southeast around that 15 to 20 mile an hour mark. But let's get you ready for your Wednesday morning as you're getting ready to hit the roadways. On the traffic flow map, so far so good luckily out there. If you're hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland this morning, looking at that good and green color flow, and it's going to be the same for our Robstown and Calallen commuters, both 37 and 44 luckily coming in that good and green flow. But keep in mind, the roadways are still wet out there, so still want to exercise just a little bit of caution on the roadways, at least as we're working for our major thoroughfares here in Corpus Christi. Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga, looking at that best color on the board, with just some minor slowdowns closer to Rodfield as you're working up closer to SPID so far. So let's take a little detour inland. Good morning to neighbors up there in Beeville. So far so good, that good and green flow all around, but the same story, some of those wet roadways. Want to exercise some more of that caution this morning. Of course, with more rain chances on the way, we'll take a closer look at that future tracker and your weekend forecast in our 7-day forecast.
Sounds good, Stephen. Thank you so much. So this morning, there are power outages across the coastal bend. So let's take a look at what's happening in your neighborhood. We're going to have AEP Texas website up right now. Nueces County, 5,319 customers are experiencing an outage, it looks like, but that does seem to be an improvement from earlier this morning. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our next area, Aransas. 1,500 customers without power in that area, and it looks like their estimated restoration time is 12 p.m. San Patricio County, 2,200 customers are without power, and their estimated restoration time is 12 p.m. So Freer ISD is back in session this morning because schools were actually closed yesterday after the morning storm damaged one of the school's power lines, but power lines was restored to the junior high campus around 8 last night. The Corpus Christi City Council will have another chance to vote on water restrictions in 2 weeks. Council is delaying action on the Level 1 Water Emergency Ordinance, and this comes after concerns from the Apartment Owners Association. The proposal classifies apartments as commercial water users and are asking to be considered as residential. The next vote is set for June 2nd.
Every week through our Running Dry segment, we answer your questions about our water crisis from you, our neighbors. This week's question comes from Jerry Silva, where he states that they want to fine us, the city, $500 for water usage. How about refunding us for the overcharging when you round off our water usage to the nearest 1,000 gallons if we only used 400 gallons? We don't get credit for the 600 gallons we didn't use. Do you think it's fair? Surely you could get the usage to the next 100 gallons instead of 1,000 gallons. Should we get a lawyer or consultant to find out for us? And while I am not a legal expert, I am able to find out answers for your questions. First off, addressing the $500 fine. Last week, City Council voted on what a Level 1 water emergency will look like, and that fine now off the table.
I am with the others. I don't think that residents need to be punished anymore.
On to your next question about rounding off to the nearest 1,000 gallons. Corpus Christi Water, like every other water entity in Texas, charges per 1,000 gallons with a minimum of 1,000. This is done through the city's water charter.
The rates established in the ordinance are per 1,000 gallons of water used. That's a standard practice throughout most municipal water districts and municipalities who have a water department as well.
I did double check, and places like San Antonio, Austin, and Houston all follow the same format. CCW, however, does something that they say actually saves residents money by rounding down to the nearest 1,000 gallons used.
So if someone uses more than 1,000 gallons, we round down for the particular month, and then so that we're not billing for more water than someone has utilized, and then that potentially would catch up the following month because we're always billing per 1,000 gallons.
Your data provided to City Council shows the average household here in the Coastal Bend uses 7,000 gallons a month, with about 13% using over that figure. But I couldn't find the data anywhere about how many use under 1,000 gallons a month. After reaching out to CCW, this is what they had to say. Quote, City of Corpus Christi had 19,634 accounts which use less than 1,000 gallons of water. For an average residential customer inside the city limits who is billed under 1,000 gallons, the minimum charge for water would be $17.25. And of course, that does include any water transportation costs. So we now know, especially with the launch of the new water tracking app, that we can measure water use by 100 gallons. But it would need a change in the city ordinance to actually alter how residents are charged. I'll be sure to ask City Council members about this next time I see them. Covering your water questions in our Running Dry series, I'm Brian Hoffman with Chris 6 News.
Good stuff, Brian. Thank you so much. Before you head out the door, meteorologist Stephen Jones has a look at your forecast. And still ahead, a major change could help save lives in Alice before patients even reach the hospital. Efforts to potentially remove Corpus Christi Mayor Paulette Guajardo are moving forward. We'll show you what comes next. Plus, a sneak peek at an exclusive interview. What Veronica Montoya is saying after being cleared in a deadly shooting.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Welcome back, folks. Details of the proposed design for the Michael J. Ellis seawall will be unveiled tonight during a public meeting. The city of Corpus Christi took over maintenance responsibility for the seawall just over a year ago, and now they're ready to kick off a massive upgrade. The seawall was privately built about 60 years ago, and time has definitely taken its toll. It's in need of major repairs. City Engineering Services are now proposing a $17 million project. The meeting is at the Wyndham Resort on Windward Drive from 5:30 to 7:30 this evening, and anyone is invited to attend.
Whether you want Mayor Paulette Guajardo impeached or think she deserves another term, the decision may no longer be yours. Hey everyone, I'm Drew Bishop, and removal proceedings began today at City Hall with a pretrial hearing. In short, the mayor hasn't been removed, but the process to do that picked up more steam on Tuesday. Here's what you need to know.
You know, it's been difficult.
Removal proceedings for the mayor began at City Hall with public comment and about an hour of executive session.
Is everyone clear on what we're voting on?
For starters, we're far from the mayor being removed, impeached, or any action being taken. Council voted on Tuesday to solidify two more pretrial hearings, May 27th and June 2nd. These hearings would finalize elements of the actual trial, like what witnesses and evidence will be used. The mayor's attorney, John Flood, says June 2nd could be key.
Presumably at the June 2nd one is when they would actually set the trial date.
I'm Stephanie Molina in Taft, where one local laundromat owner says he's already cut back on water use. But with Corpus Christi Level 1 water emergency plan, he worries about the impact on his business. I reached out to officials about those concerns. That's Felipe Rodriguez, co-owner of Hometown Soap and Suds in Taft. The city of Taft gets its water from the San Patricio Municipal Water District, which gets its water from the city of Corpus Christi.
There are several of our long-term customers that have come in. They're asking, how much more am I going to go up on the machines? Am I going to close?
I reached out to Corpus Christi Water for a statement on how the plan impacts not only the city, but also smaller Coastal Bend communities. At this time, I have not heard back, but will update the story once I get a reply.
You know, rain is hitting the coastal bend this morning. This is a look from Aransas Pass, and you can see there the rain coming down, some strong winds, and also some lightning there. The U.S. flag, too, you can see that. This video was sent to us from Mary Ann Forrest Johnston just this morning. And folks, don't forget to share your photos and videos with us. All you have to do is join our Weather Watchers Facebook group, and you might just see one of your photos on our newscast. We always see some pretty cool stuff, too, like the sunsets, the sunrises. Maybe we'll get some lightning pics, but of course, safety first, guys.
Ooh, absolutely. And I know I've seen a ton of good videos and pictures in there this morning and yesterday morning, and hopefully we see some more over these next few days because we've got rain chances today, tomorrow, even into the weekend as long as Sunday. So any of those Memorial Day weekend plans, just something to keep in mind. Want to stay weather aware as we're heading out there. Here's the radar over the past 3 hours, and you can see those storms just barreling through the Corpus Christi area. Have since pushed offshore for us, but still dealing with some of those light showers working through Corpus Christi and even some of the yellows working into San Patricio County there just south of Refugio. But either way, going to start drying up as we head through the next few hours. In the southern coastal bend, still have a severe thunderstorm warning there for southern Kennedy County. That's going to be through about 7 a.m. for us because winds are upwards of 60 miles per hour with that storm. But luckily, we didn't see too much hail with this system as it worked through the area. Just a lot of that lightning and plenty of gusty winds to go around. Corpus Christi right now, like we were talked about, just some of the light greens working through on the radar. So if you're hitting the roadways, just want to exercise a little bit of extra caution out there at least. Here's a live view from our studio sky cam, waking up to 69 degrees on the board, maybe even jacket worthy out there. Winds are out of the northeast 22 miles per hour, and also picked up about 82 hundredths of an inch of rain over at the International Airport this morning with that storm rolling through. Temperatures across the board rounding out in the 60s and 70s out there. 74 right now in Ingleside, 70 from the Naval Air Station through Rockport, and then 66 degrees off to the north in Beeville this morning. As we're checking out the bus stop forecast, we're still holding on to the rain roughly for that 7 a.m. drop-off. Maybe not as many thunderstorms now with them pushing offshore, but as we go into the afternoon, either way, more of that sunshine, 84 degrees by 3 p.m. and a little breezy out there. Winds out of the southeast once again, 15 miles an hour, gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour at times. Now let's walk you through the future tracker. Keep in mind this model a little bit behind from where the storm should be. You can see they have it over us here right now in Corpus Christi, but they've already pushed well offshore for us. Either way, it gets the trajectory across as we head through the next few hours, moves offshore for us, and then we're off to the clear with partly cloudy skies into the afternoon, back to those mid-80s for daytime highs with maybe a stray shower or two throughout the day. As we head into tonight is where models start to split just a little bit. This model wants to bring in 1 or 2 more of those showers, whereas the other model wants to bring in a stronger system similar to what we saw this morning and yesterday morning. So we'll be on our toes, keeping a watch on it for as we go into tomorrow morning. Either way, the trajectory continues with plenty of those isolated scattered showers from tomorrow into Friday and even into the weekend. Although the coverage does start to decrease into the weekend from about 50% closer to 30 to 40% there on Saturday and Sunday. By the time we're heading into Memorial Day itself and next week, that's where the rain chances finally start to dwindle off, and I think we could see more sunshine here locally. As we're looking at the rainfall total estimates, though, looking like we could pick up a decent 2 inches here around the coastal bend and pretty similar totals into the watershed, maybe a couple isolated higher totals under the heaviest downpours out there, but all of South Texas and even pushing into Southeast Texas there closer to Houston, going to pick up a decent amount of rain through the next few days and hopefully see those lake levels improve and the colors on this drought monitor improve out there. Do have still one heart level 5 out of 5 drought there into closer to Tilden in the watershed, but with these rain chances, hopefully we do start to see some improvements. Probably not as soon as tomorrow, but probably on next week's drought monitor update. Here's how it's playing out on the 7-day forecast. Keep the umbrella handy because we have the scattered thunderstorms around through the weekend. Don't cancel all of those weekend plans, but just keep it in mind, could see some of those passing showers into it as well. By the time we're heading into next week, all the rain starts to dry up, but we're still holding on to plenty of heat and humidity. Daytime highs in the upper 80s for the entire 7-day forecast.
Stephen, thank you so much. After months of training, the Alice Fire Department and EMS is now one of only 4 fire departments in the region that's part of the pre-hospital whole blood EMS program. This will allow first responders to administer blood before a patient gets to the hospital. Fire Chief Patrick Thomas says that Alice is strategically located to respond across South Texas, especially in rural areas of Jim Wells County, where advanced care can be harder to access.
It's already saving lives. We've already had incidents where we've had to use it, and so I think it's a great program for our community.
Officials say they hope to expand the program and level of care throughout the Coastal Bend and improve survival outcomes across the region. A Southside woman cleared in a deadly shooting is speaking out. Veronica Montoya was arrested in February after the shooting of Gilbert Garcia outside her home. When Montoya's husband told them to leave, Garcia was shot when he advanced towards him. He later died from his injuries. An Oasis County grand jury declined to indict Montoya. Neighborhood News reporter Jacob Daniels sat down with Montoya in an exclusive interview.
I reassured them that I would do it again. I will always defend myself, my family, and them. And I really want people to know that your safety, your family's safety is non-negotiable.
Nueces County District Attorney Jimmy Granberry says he presented the case to the grand jury himself. He does not expect to refile any charges. State Attorney General Ken Paxton got an endorsement from President Donald Trump. In a social media post, the president called Paxton tested at difficult times and a winner. Trump added that Senator John Cornyn is a good man, but that he was not supportive when times were tough.
He thinks I'm the best candidate and that I will actually help him get some of these things done.
Cornyn responding to the Paxton endorsement, saying they are not ready to give up the fight. At this hour, an international effort continues to combat the Ebola virus in Africa. Ebola can cause serious, often deadly disease with an estimated mortality rate between 25 and 40%. The CDC says Ebola symptoms can start 2 to 21 days after contact with the virus. It's spread through contact with body fluids of an infected person, including handling contaminated materials of someone who died from the disease.
If you sort of combine all these things, lack of testing, volatile area, some of the cuts, it's not surprising to have a situation like we see unfolding right now.
There's no approved vaccine or treatment for this strain, but the CDC says the immediate risk to the U.S. public is low. So Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals takes place tonight. You can catch Game 2 of the Spurs versus the Thunder right here on Chris 6. Tip-off for the game is at 7:30. Aransas Pass students can learn how to swim for free starting today. A $20,000 grant from Phillips 66 will fund a swim safety program for first and second graders. The school district is partnering with the city and the local aquatic center. This starts at 5 over at the Aransas Pass Aquatic Center. As students get ready for the 2026 Scripps National Spelling Bee, we'll have a look at who competed here at home. 82 local students competed for the championship. The Coastal Bend Regional Spelling Bee will air right here on Chris 6 Saturday evening at 7.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The Corpus Christi City Council is delaying action on the Level 1 Water Emergency Ordinance, and this comes after concerns from the Apartment Owners Association. The next vote is set for June 2nd. This morning, Governor Abbott is watching severe storms across the state. He's directing the Texas Division of Emergency Management to be prepared for this week's storms. In Nueces County, early voting numbers are starting to come in for the Democratic and Republican primary runoff election. So far, 4,840 votes are in, which is just over 2% of registered voters in Nueces County. Early voting ends on Friday. This morning, President Donald Trump will deliver the keynote address at the Coast Guard Academy commencement. It's the 145th Coast Guard Academy commencement. And the Senate Commerce and Technology Committee will hold a hearing about sports betting today. It comes following a growing number of scandals, including current alleged point shaving in the NBA. And Meta plans to cut 10% of its workforce today. The goal is to improve the company's AI workflow. About 7,000 employees will be moved to AI initiatives and eliminate managerial roles.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Good morning, Sunrise team. We're the Amador family. We've been very blessed to receive a home from Habitat for Humanity, and we just want to tell y'all to have a good morning and a great day.
Oh, thank you guys so much for that sweet shout out video. We love the little heart hands. Have a wonderful day, folks. And if you want to send us your own shout out video, make sure you scan the QR code on your screen or go to our website, christv.com. And just into our newsroom, Flower Bluff ISD is starting late this morning. It's estimated to start at 10:30 a.m. For the primary and elementary, 10:50 a.m. and intermediate, 11:10 a.m., junior high, 11:15 a.m., high school, 11:25 a.m., Hornet Learning Academy, 11 a.m. And I could only assume that this is probably because of some of the weather that we've been having.
Ooh, probably, absolutely, Michelle. We saw those storms barreling through the area, caused a lot of power outages out there, just the winds and the lightning we had rolled through. Luckily, it's starting to come to a close and hopefully starting to see some of the power being restored out there nonetheless. And those storms are moving offshore, but we've still got chances as we're heading through the rest of today into tomorrow and the rest of the weekend. It looks like the best chances for some of that rain. But if you're hitting the roadways this Wednesday morning, they are still wet in the wake of those storms working through. Here's a live view from our SPID Skycam with that traffic starting to pick up a little bit, but luckily you aren't tracking any of those major slowdowns out there at least. If you're hitting the Harbor Bridge this morning, looking good and green to and from Portland. For our Robstown and Calallen commuters, both 37 and 44 coming in the clear out there. Just some minor slowdowns around Robstown locally. As we work into our major thoroughfares here in Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga, luckily all coming in the clear. Just Saratoga over by Crosstown Expressway, some minor slowdowns there, but really only the yellows on the map right now. And downtown not even looking too bad. So let's go ahead and get you a forecast as we're heading into the weekend with how much rain we might expect for the rest of the weekend, I should say. Since midnight, we've already picked up a decent almost inch here locally here in Corpus Christi, about 9/10 of an inch. Alice coming in at 82/100 of an inch. Falfurrias over an inch, with the big winner being Port Aransas getting about 2 inches there, 1 3/4 inches since midnight at least. So not too bad, but hopefully we start to see more of it falling in the watershed also. Over the past few hours, the radar, here's how it's shaping up. It barreled through Corpus Christi, but has since pushed offshore. We're just left with a few of those light showers now and should be drying up through the rest of our Wednesday, but can't rule out just a stray shower into the afternoon at least. We do still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern Kennedy County, but shouldn't be dealing with too much more of that. It's working its way further south also as we go through about the next 15 to 30 minutes. And here in Corpus Christi, any of this light shower activity should also only take about 30 minutes to an hour probably to dry up before it starts to shift further off to the east for us. In terms of temperatures, waking up to the 60s and 70s across the board out there with some of that rain-cooled air, and through the rest of our Wednesday, we're back on the warm-up. That sunshine comes out, pushes us back to the 80s as we're heading into the afternoon, and that's going to be the story for most of this week with those 80s for daytime highs, but rain chances start to increase a little bit by tomorrow and pushing through the weekend. Luckily, it dries up as we're heading into next week while we held on to plenty of that heat in the upper 80s for the entire 7-day forecast.
Stephen, thank you so much. So we have an update to a story we told you about yesterday. Oscar Zamora is one of 160 competitors, and he's from Corpus Christi. We're learning he placed 18th in the Salt Lake City International Bus Rodeo. And a bioengineering company says it's discovered a way to hatch a chick without a real egg. Colossal Biosciences calls the technology a first-of-its-kind incubation platform. The artificial eggs are transparent, so researchers can observe embryo development in real time. The new eggs are also scalable to different sizes. Scientists say it's all part of a broad effort to help critically endangered species and to restore some extinct species. Now, this morning there are power outages across the coastal bend. Let's take one last look at AEP Texas website before you go. It looks like Nueces County, 5,000 customers are reporting power outages in that area. And we're going to take a look at Aransas. 1,500 customers are reporting power outages in that area. So San Patricio County, 2,200 customers reporting outages. So friends, make sure you check in on your family, your coworkers, everyone. Give some people a little grace this morning. They might be late because of that. And just enjoy the weather, honestly. This is kind of what we prayed for, right?
At least it's starting to move out and calm down now, at least.
Exactly. Stephen, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us, folks. We'll see you soon.